Okay, three, two, one. What's going on, folks? East here, and today, ahead of the February SEAO Shadowverse Open, I'm joined by Team Omnibuses. Is that how you say it? Team Omnibuses? AkoAyPayaso. I'm probably sure I butchered that, but yeah. Welcome, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Well, I'm just on break right now, so yeah,
Well, you're on break
doing
right
great.
now?
Yep, I'm working right now, but well,
Shh, shh. Let's
yeah,
hope your
I'm not.
employer doesn't find the video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, that must be nice if your managers chill with that. I like that. Uh,
Yep.
But yeah, today I just want to talk a little bit about not only Shadowverse but the competitive scene. And I had a chance to speak with Igni and Luis the Panda a while back on one of Manasurge's podcasts, and it really got me wondering about what other players within the community, felt or how they thought about their current Shadowverse scene or the Shadowverse scene as a whole, right? So I gave you a couple questions. But I first want to let you introduce yourself. So if you have a 10-second soapbox, tell us who Akai Payaso is.
Okay, so I'm AkoAyPayaso, more commonly known as Ako, as I'm called by my peers. I've been with Team Omnibus for around a year. I've been playing since ROB actually, but I have been only into competitive Shadowverse
Mm-hmm.
since last year, which is around I think Outer Spear. Yeah,
Mm.
it was the first top eight I had in January 2019. So I'm also a current admin for the Shadowverse newbies,
Mm.
and we do tournaments every now and
Yeah, sure. So for the folks who aren't aware, the Shadowverse Newbies is a Discord where people who are, maybe not as confident or just getting into Shadowverse and want to experience the competitive side can really go and just kind of learn about the game, have a bit of a deeper understanding, talk to other people, which is really important about the meta and like how interactions work and all that sort of stuff. You guys are doing a lot of good work in there. I'm in there as well, so just watching you guys work is great stuff, man. Thank you very much.
then. You're welcome.
But so you said that you got into Shadowverse, I guess competitively, what 2019 last year, right at the beginning of Alter Sphere, is that right?
Yeah, I actually forgot what expansion, but it was around that time.
Yeah. So right now, so you've been playing for about a year or so, I guess just over a year. Then, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious would you say you are competitively about Shadowverse?
I would say around 8 to 9, somewhere around that. I do, what you call this, I do have a lot of time. I do a lot of time for it. For screams, analysis of the metagame,
Mm.
deck composition, and discussion with other peeps, things like that. But I'm not into it fully, wherein I actually fully allocate a day or a day off for that. Well, I can't really at this at this time, but basically that's the only factor that I can't make it a stand. But otherwise, I'm so full into the competitive aspect of Shadowverse.
Okay. So you're deep in the community. I mean, you're doing work in the Discord. You're supporting the community. You're also playing. So you've kind of got the full breadth of the Shadowverse community, like both from the player side, both from someone supporting the community in other ways rather than just competing. Can you tell me what are some things that you like and don't like about Shadowverse right now?
Mm,
Don't say
well,
Kuon.
mostly
Don't say Kuon.
no, no, definitely not because I like the deck so much. It's one of my favorites. Anyway, so well, basically regarding the metagame, it's more of there's no true aggro deck in the current rotation.
That's true.
Well, it's kind of I used to play in the ROB wherein there's a true aggro blood back then, where it can stomp any slow deck in the meta. So it's just I don't like it without that because it's the one that can actually sort of balance the meta somehow, wherein there would be something that eats the slow decks, something like that. Although there's Amatas, but Amatas is more of a combo deck than anything.
Yeah, I mean
And
it'll kill you fast, but yeah.
yeah. But and aggro blood is some sort of I think tier 3 at most or tier 2.
Mm.
But yeah.
Tier two, you
Um
rated highly.
yeah, I mean it can prey on the slow decks after all.
mm.
When it comes to what I like, uh, even with the absence of the true aggro archetype, I
Mm.
think the rotation meta right now is very bad. There's a plethora of actually archetypes that you can actually explore on. decks are still being optimized up to this point, which is actually super surprising. Most of
Yeah.
the time, most of the time we have nerfs by this point, but instead we actually have buffs. I mean, it's really surprising for me because the last year compared to last year, we have the emergency nerf for Mario. Do you remember Admiral?
Yeah.
So we had that nerf from 7 to 8, but this time around we didn't have any nerf. So
Yeah.
it's a testament that the meta is actually good.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. I think to your point, yeah, decks are still being optimized, and we're what 2 months in, just about. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's super cool. I also want to talk a little bit out kind of outside of the actual metagame. So like the community itself, like what are some things that you like and don't like about the Shadowverse community?
Well, the community itself is actually pretty inclusive.
Mm.
We actually cater for the newbies so well. We actually guide them from the reroll guide, or what kind of cards do they need to keep, what kind of decks do they actually be composing of, or doing or making
Yeah.
in the start of their journey. So I'm actually liking the community as a whole. I mean, if I compare it to other communities I'm in, sort of similar, wherein we are actually newbie centered. We have a separate, we have a competitive committee, which is actually serious about the competition itself. But the competitive community is actually helpful towards the newbie community, which is actually quite a bit rare in most cases
Yeah, it
that
is.
I have been. I mean, in the communities that I have been, it's quite rare.
Yeah, I play. I don't know if you know, but I came from fighting games, and getting into fighting games is pretty hard. Like, you basically just get beat up until you stick around long enough for someone to say, "All right, I'll help you out, man. No problem."
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Shadowverse is as far as like getting newbies up to speed and like getting them to like playing competitive decks. They are pretty nice. What about one thing you don't like about Shadowverse right now? What's one thing you wish you could change
Mm,
outside of the cards, so to speak?
um, Probably the amount of events. The Just more on the sponsored events, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because right now we only have the SVOs, which happens like well, now it only happens like twice a month.
Yeah.
So it's more of the lack of the events in the west side, or the technically non-Japan side of things. So
Mm.
I would actually like it to be more of a global thing, or something like we can have a league thing among us, similar to what Japan has right now. So it's something that, kind of, we need to nurture the competitive community more. We need to grow it more. I'm not saying that it's actually quite low right now
Mm.
in terms of numbers, but it's just that we need to actually, at least I want to have more rewards when it comes to the competitive sense.
I think as a
So yeah.
competitor, that's fair. Yeah. Like at the point right now, it feels like we've got like the SVOs and a couple of community-driven tournaments, but that's kind of like the small flame. You're trying to like do something to just build it up more and more, right? And no, I agree. Just having SVO is nice. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to every month have a chance to actually win money. It's but yeah, trying to get to that next step, I think, is where a lot of folks are trying to or what they're trying to figure out right now is okay. So if I look at something like Dota, right, which like has like millions of dollars in prizes, and
Yeah.
I look at Shadowverse, so like there's this gap. Like, how do I traverse that gorge, right? I think that's what everyone's trying to kind of piece together. Um, so let me move on. I don't want to harp on you too long about that, but so I guess let's go down the rabbit hole a little bit more. So if you could like you get a magic wand, and you're like, all right, when I wave this wand, I control Psy Games for one giant decision, right? And you wave your wand and you can make Psy Games do anything to the Shadowverse community. What would you do?
Probably implement the league thing. That's the only thing that I really don't want right now. I know the teams are actually recognized,
Yeah,
but
yeah, they are.
I want actually side games to recognize them more in the terms that there's actually an actual league between the teams. Something like that could work. I mean, it's working right now in Japan, but I'm not sure how will it be implemented outside of Japan. But I think it could really work, and it could actually nurture the community more. That's the thing that I I would actually want to. That's a big decision
Mm.
as side games.
So yeah, that's an interesting point. I know maybe for some folks at home who aren't aware, in Japan you actually have like a league where like teams of players get together and actually like play out. And
Mhm.
what's cool about those teams is they're actually all sponsored teams. So what is it? One example is there's a team sponsored by a media company or a giant phone company called SoftBank. SoftBank is they sponsor a baseball team.
Yeah,
SoftBank's baseball team sponsors a competitive Shadowverse team, which is really cool. So you almost have like the like media sponsoring sports sponsoring esports.
yeah. And it was really, I mean, it's bizarre, but it's actually kind of cool to
it,
think
it
of it like
is.
that.
No, you're 100% right, and I like the idea, and I really wanted to do this last year, but at the end of the year, things kind of crept up on me, and I guess between trying to get home for the holidays and all the events that I had at the very end of the year, I had like 3 events at the end of last year. It was hard to implement this, but I would love to see, even if it's just a one-off thing every year, like a team versus team like tournament.
Yeah,
I think that would be so good because then you've got people from every region on a team competing against just the other like competitive Shadowverse teams out there.
yeah. I think we had one. I forgot it was last year. I think yeah, it was last year. But it's more of a community thing. Um,
Hmm,
but we did have a card reveal at that point at that tournament. But
that's kind of
it's
cool.
kind of yeah, it's kind of cool to actually have it repeated. This or something like um, a usual occurrence for us, something consistent for us
Yeah.
at least.
I think what would be really cool is if all the teams got together and actually like submitted a request. I think that you guys might catch Shadow versus I, or excuse me, Cygames I, if you did something like that. Just get all the teams to kind of put in a conceited effort and say, look, at the end of the year we want to hold this event. Can you help throw in and sponsor the event in some way? It doesn't have to be for league points or anything. Just like that one-off event, like have something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm Cygames. I don't think that's too far of a request to fulfill. But yeah, let's hope this year. If they don't do it, I damn sure will. So again, I would love to see a team battle, man. Let's see here. So I guess I don't want to keep you for too long. I know you're actually at work on your break. So I guess my last question for you for the day is any advice for new folks getting into Shadowverse? I mean, you're in the Shadowverse newbies Discord. Any advice or any mistakes you've seen people make that you would advise against or anything like that?
Okay, so basically, what newbies need to do is actually ask around. This is general advice that I give to anyone actually new to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't hurt to actually ask your seniors, or in this case, the more experienced ones, on how to actually venture on to this new world of Shadowverse. There's a lot of factors into it. I mean, all the at least in our community, all the senior members, all the competitive members are actually very, very helpful to newbies. So the first thing that you need to do is actually to join the Discord servers. I recommend the Shadowverse newbies because I'm in it.
Self promotion.
And yeah, and also Reddit Discord server. Those are two really good servers that actually have a backbone or a dedicated team that actually helps newbies.
Wait. There's
From there,
there's
yeah,
a
they do.
there's a Reddit Discord server.
Yeah, there's a Shadowverse Reddit server.
Shit, I didn't even know
Discord.
that. Wow. All right. Okay.
Yeah, so basically, once you're into those servers, they have their guides there on what to actually do. It's actually pretty detailed. They actually guide you how to reroll from the rerolling guide, what to actually vial, what decks do you actually want to make first. It's
Hmm.
actually updated up to the current metagame. This is actually very nice.
Wow.
And one thing also yeah. So in summary, just join Discord, ask the correct persons, and you'll actually be having a very good time in Shadowverse.
Awesome. Well, again, so you heard it here from the man himself. Join the damn Discord, you cowards. All right. So before you head out, man, again, I know you don't have too much time, but any final words? I mean, this is your platform now, so you can say anything you want, or almost anything you want.
Hmm, I guess I could just say good luck to you guys. Good luck to all the participants for the SVO, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Uh, I, I wish to be part of the top 8. Actually want to win at least a month. I mean, I have already top twice. Why not actually go for more?
Yeah.
So, yep. Good luck to all.
So again, folks who aren't aware, you guys can watch Team Omnibus AkoAyPayaso this weekend at the Shadowverse Open. Hopefully you're not catching this in the past. In that case, go back and watch the YouTube VODs of the Shadowverse Open for February for the SEAO region. Again, thanks for your time, and I appreciate it. And I'll let you go because I don't want you to get in trouble because of little old me.
Okay. Thank you, man.
All right, take care, dude.
Bye bye.